honourable members opposite are extraordinarily relaxed about the effect that this sort of thing has on Scottish public opinion. I don't know if they take the Herald newspaper. It's rather difficult to get hold of here in the House of Commons. But if they do, they will see today's headline, "Support for Independence Surges on Hard Brexit Vow."
Going one direction, lads.
No, I will not give way. A backing for a yes vote in another independence referendum has risen to 49% on the back of the hard Brexit vow, and that's when no referendum is even on the table, and we are still seeking our reasonable compromise. Make no mistake, and it gives me great pleasure to say this, that the barracking of honourable members opposite and the preventing of SNP MPs from speaking in this House plays right into our hands and results in headlines for this: support for independent surgery. Mrs. Laing.
Point of order, Mr. Harper.
Mrs. Laing, how can I correct the record? On Monday, when we were debating the amendments on devolution and the arrangements, and I spoke about the amendments that were on the paper, I seem to remember I took many interventions, including from the Right Honourable and Learned Lady. She wasn't therefore prevented from speaking, and indeed I seem to remember, Madam Deputy Mrs. Laing, that the person in the chair at the time, well, you let me finish giving my point of order for the chair. When the person that was in the chair made great efforts to facilitate the Honourable and Learned Lady making a speech, there was then a kerfuffle afterwards when she objected to the amount of time she got. How can we put the record straight about the fact she had a fair opportunity on Monday?
Well, the honourable gentleman doesn't need to put the record straight because it's a matter of record. And I have myself looked in Hansard, and by the simple use of my arithmetical powers, I have worked out how many people managed to speak, for how long they spoke, what contributions they made. Now, the Honourable Lady is asserting that she was prevented from speaking because there was a time limit on the debate, and the Honourable Lady came quite late in the debate. Then there was not an awful lot of time left in which she could speak. But in saying that she was prevented from speaking, I think the Honourable Lady is making a rhetorical point rather than an arithmetical point, because the Honourable Lady's contribution to the debate has been considerable, and she will note that she has been given the opportunity very early in today's proceedings to speak, and I look forward to hearing the Honourable Lady speak to the amendments to which she has put her name, and that's what we should stick to. Joanna Cherry. I'm
very grateful, Madam Chairwoman, for your clarification, and indeed I am speaking early today because I'm leading for the third party in this House, as is my right to speak early in the debate. Now, the honourable gentleman opposite is terribly, terribly anxious to make an intervention. In order to put him out of his misery, I'd very much like to hear what he has to say now.
No, I'm very grateful to the Honourable and Learned Lady.